Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I had a request. Somebody wanted to know how I do my canning. And I think the scariest part is the whole hot water bath and like just making sure everything is disinfected really well. So this is my applesauce mixture. Actually, let's come over here first. So Stella is doing the apple peeling and coring. She is not as familiar with it. But basically you stick the apple on there. Here, let me show real quick.
This thing's stuck.
Okay, so you stick the apple on here. And sometimes it's a little finicky, so I just kind of hold my hand here, my finger, just to keep it on there. And what it does is it peels it and cores it and like makes it into these little rounds, which Stella's gonna eat. And then I just throw them all in here. And there's literally Costco groceries and children and dogs, and this is not a professional photo whatsoever. I feel like my life is crazy, but I wanted to show you guys because canning is something that I want more people to learn about because it's awesome to preserve food. Okay, and then I take that pot, I bring it over here, and I just cook it down. So basically, I haven't like mashed this or anything. It's just really cooked. And then all I do is I add a cup of sugar and a tablespoon of cinnamon, and that is it. And it doesn't have to be that specific. It's really to taste. So don't like freak out that you have to have the exact right measurements. Just like kind of play with it. I think I have apple peel or something stuck in my throat. But kind of play with it and see like how sweet you want it. You know, if you want to make it a little healthier, you don't have to put as much sugar, or you can actually use maple syrup, which is what I actually usually use, but I decided to do coconut sugar this time. And then now that this is all cooked, I am disinfecting my jars. So I take this guy, it has boiling water. So I already have 4 jars. It only has enough water for like a couple jars at a time. So I let it just kind of soak in the boiling hot water, and it will disinfect it really well. So that's like a really important part, is just to make sure your jars are totally disinfected, and I let it like overflow out the top too. I plugged in my immersion blender. You can use like a potato masher or whatever really, because it's like I cook it down so it's basically already a mush, but this is just going to make it really smooth. My mom does a kind where she puts it like through a strainer, and it's just a lot more steps. So this might be a tiny bit chunkier, but it's honestly pretty darn smooth the way I do it. I already kind of tell it's getting like a lot smoother. I really like these. They have them on Amazon. It's just like a funnel, stainless steel funnel. I put it on the top, and I got this like super smooth just with that little immersion blender. My jars are disinfected. By that, I did the boiling water, which I showed. And then I am going to leave an inch of head space. You don't want to fill it completely full because you want a little bit of room for expansion. You don't want, if you don't give it enough room, it'll basically come out the top and it won't can. So just an inch. That's it. Or wait, hold on. It doesn't have to be exact, you just need kind of some room. So like that, a little bit of room. I kind of stop like right here at the base of the neck there. And then I'll go ahead and fill up the rest of these. So I got my next batch of apples going. I'm so bummed. My canner will fit 7 and I only filled a total of 6. So that's kind of a bummer because I wanted to get like as much in as possible. But I'm going to wipe off the rim. So basically you just take like a clean cloth. I'm just using a wet paper towel. You want to make sure that there is no food on the top rim, because otherwise that just is getting in between the seal and it won't seal properly. So I just take a wet cloth and wipe around the very top of all of the jars. That definitely had some on it. And then I have, you want to show them over here? I just do like a little shallow pan with boiling water, and I have like a couple small mouth lids and a couple wide mouth lids. I like wide mouth jars. I don't know why. I think I just inherited some smaller mouth jars, but I like the wider mouth. It's just easier to get stuff in and out of the jars, especially like pickles and stuff. You don't want to get your hands stuck. But anyway, so you take the hot lid that you disinfected and you put it on top. And just do that for all of them. I just take a fork because I can kind of like get underneath the lid that way. And I just use my fingernail to kind of hold it. You can turn it off for now. Okay, so I already put these ones on, but then you take your rim and you just put it on. And just do it as tight as you can with your hands. It doesn't have to be like crazy, crazy tight. It's just basically to keep this from coming off when it's in the water. So put it on there tight, and then you're going to put it in your water bath. And I have an electric one. I love this. I will put the link for this. This is so nice because a lot of times your stovetop is so full that this is nice because it's not on your stovetop and it's really controlled. So I put it on medium. You don't want it all the way hot because you don't want your cans to like break when you put it in there. Because sometimes if it's too much of a temperature change, the jars will crack. I'm just putting them all in there. And basically, for the amount of water you want them to be covered with water. Another reason I really like this electric canner, so there's a max full line, which it looks like I'm just about there. If it goes too high, I can just open up this valve over here. Sorry, there's dirty dishes. I can just open up this valve and it will come out right into the sink, so it's so nice. I'm gonna crank this all the way up to high. I have my little, I don't know what that is for necessarily, probably just to keep the cans in place from like floating around and stuff. So I put that on there, I put on my lid, I wait for it to boil, and then I need to look up how long you actually boil applesauce for. So every food is a little bit different, but I just Google it. I type in, how long do you boil water bath, boil applesauce for to can, and then it should come right up. But that's it. I just wait for it to boil and I put my timer on, and then I will show you how I take them out. All right, so I've had it boiling for 20 minutes, so I'm just gonna turn it all the way back down to medium. I always usually just kind of leave it on medium so it stays warm for the next batch. Then I'm gonna take off the lid. Be careful because it's steamy, so don't put like a bare arm over that steam because it will burn you. Take that off. And then I'm gonna use my little handy tongs here. Where is that little, there it is. There's like this little ring that you can grab with it. If I can get it this time.
I think you can get it, Mom.
Oh, I did it. Thanks, Stella.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you take off the lid. And I usually just like to have a hot pad to hold, so you just grab right underneath the lid. I kind of tip it to get the water to come off the top. I just kind of keep it underneath here. I have a fear of dropping them, so I just kind of do this as an extra precaution. And just set them on a towel. So I usually just put a towel on the counter, protect the counter, protect the jars from the heat, but also from like cracking if you accidentally like bump it too hard or something. And that's it. So that's it, you guys. Canning is not scary. It's actually pretty easy. Sorry, this is like later in the day and the sun is coming in and blinding me. But I hope you guys enjoy this. I am gonna make probably a couple more batches, and that is it. All right, one last thing that I forgot to mention. The whole sealing thing. If you want to know if they have sealed, you will hear, I am getting tired and can't talk. You will hear a pop, and you have to say, praise the Lord, because the Lord is good, right guys?
Right.
So we always did that growing up. We'd always say, praise the Lord when we heard it pop. These ones have all popped. These ones, some of them have. And you can also kind of tell because there's like a little bubble that will actually go down. So that's just a good thing to help you kind of know if they are sealed or not. And then also when you open them, you'll hear a pop, and that's how you also know that it was sealed properly as well.
And then tap the top with your nail and hear it.
And tap the top with your nail and hear something. I don't know. I'm not going to do that because I that's Richard's thing. Anyways, that's it.